We're starting our pronoun packet today. So the introduction to the pronoun packet is going to start with just the basics of a pronoun, and then we are going to get into more details. So we're going to work through this. You're each going to have a packet. I recommend that you follow along with a pencil and a highlighter, and we will work through the introduction as well as a couple of examples on this. So a pronoun is a word that is used in the place of a noun or another pronoun. Okay, that means if we have a pronoun, okay, it takes the place of a noun or another pronoun. Most often we think of these when we think of the examples down below, such as I. This is what we talk about in terms of the talking in the third person. Okay, instead of listing names all the time, okay, this often takes the place of a name. Why would we rather use pronouns instead of names? For some reason, we believe it sounds better. Instead of saying, Miss Simi says that Oliver is the best, I might say, I say that Oliver is the best. Instead, so I am replacing my name with a pronoun. Oftentimes, this is something when we're talking about ourselves or we're talking about groups. So a pronoun is a word that is used in the place of a noun or another pronoun. The word that a personal pronoun refers to is its antecedent. Personal pronouns change their forms to reflect person, number, and case. Person. Personal pronouns have different forms for first person, second person, and third person. Number. Pronouns can be singular or plural. Case. Personal pronouns change their forms depending on how they are used in a sentence. Each pronoun has three cases: subject, object, and possessive. So you can see these here in the diagram. So we have singular, we have plural. They need to be separated. So when we look at first person, this is the I, okay? Whether it is a subject or an object. Think about it in terms of when we use this in a sentence. I do this versus me do this. Same thing here, possessive, my and mine. Second person is the you format. Okay, subject, object, possessive, your, yours. This second becomes a little bit easier because whether it is a subject or an object, it becomes you. Whether it is plural or singular, it is you. This is where we get into something interesting with the y'all or yous guys. So, second is you and yours. Third person, he, she, it, him, her, it, his, her, hers, its. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit different here because we're going to deal with something that has not been addressed in the past. Okay, in the LGBTQIA+ community, an individual who chooses their pronouns may choose to use a plural form because the plural form does not denote gender. In the English language, for some reason, we denote gender according to our pronouns. So we have he, she, or it. He is a masculine pronoun. She is a feminine pronoun. And it refers to an object. It takes away some of its humanity. So oftentimes with the LGBTQIA form, they go with the third person plural, which is the they and them, even when the individual is referring to themselves and it is only singular. This is a way to deal with gender. Gender is something that is very difficult, and why it needs to be addressed through pronouns is something that is seen in many languages. And so one way to get around that is the they, them. So the plural, we have the first person, we, us, our, ours. Second person, you, your, yours. This is where we might have something in the form of yous, guys, or the y'all format, because with the plural, it's you regardless of whether it is going to be singular or plural. So people oftentimes do not feel comfortable with it, so they go with y'all, which sounds a little bit Texan if you ask me. Not that there's anything wrong with Texas. Finding personal pronouns, okay? Underline each personal pronoun in the following sentences. We enjoy many stories from Greek mythology. So we're going to have we, okay? Once again, if we look at it, it's going to be in the first person plural subject. You may not have heard about Persephone and how the Greeks explained the changes of the seasons. We have you. She was the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. She. One day, as she was picking flowers in the meadow, the ground opened. She. Hades, the god of the dead, kidnapped her. Now, looking at this, if we decided instead to use the names instead of saying we, okay, we'd have to specify exactly who the we is, which often finds something interesting. You may have heard, instead of saying that, we might have to say the individual's name. She was the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. Instead of saying she, we would be using Persephone. This is where the antecedent comes in. The she is referring to the antecedent, or the personal pronoun is referring to is the antecedent, which is Persephone here. We're going to take a pause, and I will do another video for the second page.